Today I am in Italy and I am so excited to finally be here because I'm that typical whitewashed American Italian that has not been to Italy before. Isn't that so sad? I know. It took me forever to get here, but I made it finally. So we are going to meet quite a few people here. I have some wedding professionals that I am going to sit down with. I am also meeting a beautiful family that has many family traditions that they would love to share with us. One thing about the Italian culture is we absolutely love our traditions, and many of them are still alive till this day. Now, like most countries, a lot of the traditions vary from one region to the next. So for instance, in Tuscany, I hear the brides wore black. I also heard that in Sicily, where my family's from, that it was very common to have two different types of ceremonies. So you would have a religious and you'd have a civil ceremony. And of course, the religious ceremony was really the most important one. And of course, in Venice, where I am at, they had a tradition where the bride would have two wedding gowns, which you see that sometimes in the States, and the second best dress would actually be saved for the first dance during the reception, which I find very interesting because we as Americans actually pick up a tradition like that. We may have thought we started it, but it sounds like it may have started here in Italy, or it could have started in many other different cultures. But no matter what it is, we are celebrating different traditions, and I'm really excited that I get to take you on this journey through Venice. We're also going to really get a feel of the local scene, the food, entertainment, all the fun stuff, so you can have an idea of how Italians really celebrate their wedding traditions. So let's go. I am ready if you are. Let's have a great time. And if I look like I gained a couple pounds, it's probably right because I am eating and drinking really good food. Okay, enjoy. Venice, Italy is best known for its romantic charm and its intricate canal system. The city of Venice is located in northeastern Italy in a 25-mile lagoon on the Adriatic Sea. It is not built on solid ground, but on a cluster of 118 mud islands connected by 177 canals, which makes it known as the Grand Canal. It dates far back into the Roman Empire when it was broken up into small villages with houses built on stilts. During the 9th century, Venice became an important trade, fishing, and commerce site. The villages became connected into one government, which became building residences and businesses along the canals. The canals function as roads, and every form of transportation in the city of Venice is on water or foot. Venice is Europe's largest urban, car-free area, remaining the only city in the 21st century entirely without automobiles. Venice is still one of the #1 European cities visited by tourists every year, and is also a very large wedding and honeymoon destination for couples. Mainly, they come to see the fabulous palazzas, art, Venetian glass, and, of course, to take a ride down the Grand Canal in a gondola. Immediately upon my arrival to Venice, I was invited to meet with my dear friend and wedding colleague, Emma Giangreco. We had briefly met in California, where she was visiting her mom a month before, and she graciously invited me to her home in Venice. Boy, was I in for a treat. The only way to get to Emma's in a quickie was to take a water taxi, and I was dropped off directly in front of the famous Santa Maria della Salute Basilica. The Baroque architectural masterpiece was created by Baldassarte Longhera in 1631. He began to build this magnificent church in Venice and is one of the major symbols of the Grand Canal. This is where Emma met me, and we walked to her home along the cobblestone streets and bridges. Her home was glamorous with lots of historic, old-world charm that faced the Grand Canal waterways. Emma has been planning weddings in Venice and throughout Italy for over a decade. She took me on a quick tour of Venice, introduced me to a few other wedding professionals, and then she invited me back to her home for dinner, where I would meet another contributor to my book, Ceremonies, Unveiled, Weddings from Around the World, photographer Kobe Brown. They were both getting ready for an intimate wedding that weekend and were planning on traveling together to produce it. At Emma's home, we shared an authentic Italian meal by Emma herself. For those that know me, I love to cook, and one of my signature dishes is carbonara. But I will tell you, Emma quickly threw my recipe out the window. Her carbonara was absolutely the best that I've ever had. Emma was not only my key to the city, but the key to my Venetian couple interviews, who were to give me all the historic facts that I needed to know about weddings in northern Italy. Thank you, Emma, for your fine hospitality and for translating for me too. The following day, we ventured out on a 40-minute ferry ride to the island of Lido, which is a peaceful place with a lot of greenery and beautiful beaches. Many locals in Venice like to venture here in the summertime for their beach days. There's about 20,000 people on this island, and that is where I would meet the Bussetto family. In this family, wedding traditions have changed over time thanks to westernization. However, there were some traditions that didn't change, and one was making limoncello for the wedding celebration. After we concluded our interviews, I was invited to the outside cottage to experience some of the Bussetto's family limoncello recipe. If you're not familiar with limoncello, it is an Italian liqueur made with lemon zest. Traditionally, limoncello is made with lemons, and not just any lemons. According to the Bussetto family, the lemons had to come from Sorrento Peninsula of Italy. The liqueur is served chilled in a small ceramic glass as an aperitif. The Bussettos never had one wedding celebration without their family recipe of limoncello. Some Italians even prefer a short and sweet elopement, which is often seen in and around Venice and amongst tourists. Meet Eva and Nicola, who wed in the town hall. Their 30-minute ceremony included taking photos of the balcony, which offers a striking view of the Grand Canal overlooking the Rialto Bridge. To learn more about Italian wedding traditions, check out my book, Ceremonies, Unveiled, Weddings from Around the World. I couldn't leave Venice without a gondola ride, of course. Living in Las Vegas for over 10 years, I had never taken a gondola ride at the Venetian Hotel, as I told myself one day I'd take a real one in Venice. Nevertheless, when I had events at the Venetian Hotel, I'd hear the gondoliers serenading newlyweds and couples throughout the man-made canals, with their boisterous, operatic voices bouncing off the casino walls. I knew I didn't want that to be my first gondola ride experience. I wanted the real deal. Of all the different watercrafts in Venice, the gondola is the most well-known. It is an ancient rowboat evolving over the last 1,000 years. When speaking with the gondoliers in Venice, the person who powers the boat by hand with a large oar, I quickly learned that many of them do not sing, and it's a special tourist request that needs to happen in advance, and of course, there is an additional fee for that. Not all of them have vocal skills. Though I wasn't there with a romantic partner, I quickly fell in love with the fascination of my entire experience in Venice, from the people I met, to the families I was able to interview, and to my new lifelong colleagues who helped me with my northern Italian journey. I couldn't reflect on a more successful trip to Venice in an enchanting gondola ride. To see more from Italy and learn more about Italian wedding traditions, please be sure to purchase my book, Ceremonies Unveiled, Weddings from Around the World, at www.ceremoniesunveiled.com. And to keep connected and see behind the scenes, please visit me at Facebook and Instagram at Ceremonies Unveiled, or my personal page at Brit Bertino.